Hello, everyone, and welcome to issue number 2 of Universe 939, our X-Men story using the Marvel Multiverse TTRPG. I am your director, Arc, or Arc-like Court. I will be playing literally everything else while my players get to experience their first test here at Haven Crest Academy. And speaking of that, we'll go around and introduce all of our amazing players. First, we want to send a lot of love, all the positive vibes to none other than Paige Continued, who could not join us tonight. But don't worry, Kimmy is dealing with the Night of the Sentinels test just on their own, without the rest of the people she thought was going to be alongside them. So we'll go right around the entire cast, and we will start with Keith. If you want to introduce your character, their name and pronouns, and fun question for everybody. If your character was posted on social media, what is the hashtag people would use for your character?
Um, Hi, my name's Keith, and tonight I will be playing Alex, who goes by, he uses he, him pronouns. Alex's alter ego is called Polyphonic, and I was thinking that his hashtag was Poly, but I feel like that's already an established hashtag. So
It'd be hard to
maybe
buy that
it's
one.
true, true. So maybe his hashtag is phonic.
Ooh, I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like that.
DJ phonic, maybe.
Hell yeah. Novra.
Hey everybody, um, my character's name is Nabu, and I go by he, him, and yeah, I'm excited for today. So,
What is the hashtag people would use if they posted a picture of Nabu online?
um, forgive me for this one, but the boner.
The boner. Oh my god. We're already there, chat. We're already there.
Forgive me, but that's the first thing that came to mind.
That's so good. It's
Mhm.
honestly so good.
And last but certainly not least, Aetherius.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Ethereus Bordeaux. I am a content creator and actual play actor, and very loud advocate for racial diversity and other marginalized communities to get their spicy asses on in to the TTRPG community because the water is fine. We want folks to know that it's amazing over here. We have drinks, we have snacks, and we want to make the space as inviting as possible. I am playing David Aileen, who is an existing character. Within the Marvel universe, playing Prodigy from the new X-Men. If you have any familiar with him, and I think he's in the Young Avengers too, eventually. But yeah, this has been amazing. I'm very excited to play this very sad character. And I think his hashtag would definitely be sad boy realness.
Sad boy realness. Let's go.
Just cry emoji.
Just cry emoji. Oh, I love it. Well, for those of you who missed the last episode, our introduction episode, which will be available on YouTube tonight for everyone to watch if you didn't catch the VOD of it here on Twitch. Last episode, we introduced all of our characters. We introduced Kimberly Kent, or Kimmy, who made their way to the school. We learned about them having some kind of relationship with people who maybe donate to the Church of Man and follow the Reverend William Stryker. Kind of, it's not the best scenario to be in. But they were on the run. And so paperwork and already a couple of red herrings of, you know, Kimberly Kent attending the New York school, being led there by Warren Worthington III, who apparently also was at one time a close family friend to the Kents previously. Who knows? This might be interesting to explore. We caught David on a Greyhound crossing through Canada, who read through cathartically a plethora of messages from an old roommate from the New York Institute, and didn't wallow but definitely allowed themselves to experience some grief, some guilt, some pain, some sadness, before their favorite triplet friends decided to stop in on a mental conversation and check in and let them know about where they were going, what's going on up there, as if they didn't already know, and give them a few other little key details about things at the school, such as there being no telepaths at this school whatsoever. Last but certainly not least, out of the gathered troop, we saw Nabu being escorted in by a member of the Dora Milaje on one of their stealth jets that had Aurora Monroe's uniform in it, the Black Panther's uniform in it, a bunch of the Dora Milaje weapons and armors in there, including the Midnight Angel's armor, a handful of, different things and information, and was given two Vibranium holo cards. One that would allow them to be in contact with their family, pay for things if they needed to while they were in America. And the other included a dossier, information that Nabu apparently was to be looking for, missions that he was looking to accomplish, things he was looking to provide information on while attending Haven Crest. The team was all gathered at the opening day of Haven Crest, where media was outside speaking with the two directors, Heather Hudson and Wolverine, of all people, as all of the upperclassmen gathered together, and a familiar face for David, and an online face, maybe friendship across the internet and performing arts ways, showed up as well. David had a little bit of a panic attack, just a tiny one, didn't throw up in his mouth for a second or anything, before all of the upperclassmen were pulled into the new danger space, and were told, you can choose to be an X-Men, that is ultimately your choice. But one thing we are going to prepare you for is for the attacks, for the danger that you will face in the real world, just so that you can be safe and those around you can be safe. And as the group prepared themselves to experience Mission 1 for most new students, Night of the Sentinels, Nabu engaging his powers, being handed the bone armament that was left in his room previously by Kid Apocalypse, both polyphonic and DJ engaging their musically inclined capabilities, pull, gathering the rubber that they had on them at least, and whatever might have been local to them, creating a semi-super suit, and slipping rubber bands onto everybody's ankles so she can keep track of them, and then David flexing a new mutation to his previously known powers, and gaining access to Nabu's vibranium-like skeleton. And it's in this moment, David, after you have now amassed this strength and you are aware of it, and you can feel, again, most of the weight seems to center in the palms, like you're holding heavy meditation spheres in them. It's like a trap door opens under your feet. The same for Nabu. Polyphonic. Same for a lot of the other students who seem to be in the first testing space. As one by one, each one of you seem to fall through sheer darkness until you find yourself encased in single-person spaces. There's what looks to be very thick, almost crystalline plexiglass walls around each side of you, where you can see into the next space but can't access it. There's these bluish silver metal that connects around the metal or glass plates, creating cubes for each one of the spaces that all of you are in. And it's a large circle, somewhere around 150, 200 feet in diameter, and the circle is all the way around. There is a same blue silver metal floor that everything seems to be settled on top of, there's another ring of this glass, and in the center of it, there is a member of the X-Men. Now see here, students. I need to remind you all that most of you are here for second chances, and Gambit here knows second chances are important. But what's even more important is in trying to retake a test that most of you have already passed and succeeded on. That wouldn't be fair to the rest of them. As Gambit undoes the buttons of the vest that he is wearing and slides a series of leather holsters from underneath it across the front of his chest, pulling at leather straps so that each one of the deck holders are in place down the front of his chest. Well, now, I tell you this. The first 10 of you to get out of your little containment, team up, and have a chance to fight little old me. You take me down, you pass your test. You don't, it's on the next 10. And we'll keep doing this till someone knocks me on my ass, you see? And he turns and looks around the entire room. David, the room you were in, you were almost certain was made to interact with your original powers. As through the glass, you see hundreds of equations, half finished, some incomplete, some even have variables that you know are immediately wrong, but they start to illuminate and raise from between the sheets of glass until they are right in front of you. Nabu. The room feels light. You feel light. As you begin to notice your feet are now raising off of the floor themselves, and your center of gravity is being lost on you. Like you're not able to reposition yourself to be in a standing position as you're finding yourself in a sense of zero gravity inside the space that you're in. Polyphonic. It's no secret to anyone, as you have posted it on your social media quite a few times, there is breakcore music playing at unbearable levels. There is country music being played at unbearable levels. And for a second, you're almost certain you hear the ever viral and disgusting Baby Shark do 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 do, Baby Shark do do do. As this just cacophony of discordance, non-matched decibels, frequencies, everything is just inadvertently folding in on itself and wrenching away from each other at the same time. And it's not just happening to the three of you. Looking around the space, David and Polyphonic, you would see that the room that DJ fell into, you're almost certain is identical to yours, Polyphonic, as he is doubled over, fingers wedged as far as he can get them into his ears. The headphones are completely off, and he's just crumbled, and you can see like those neon wings forming on his back and then falling apart. You can see like pauldrons of energy building, and then they become almost liquid-like, and then they become pointed, and then they fall off. His form like grows for a moment, and then he shrinks down even smaller. Like all of the varying genres and sounds are sending his powers in haywire. You see various students all experiencing what is essentially the antithesis of their powers within each one of their individualized cells. And it's at this point I would like all three of you, for the sake of this, to roll initiative for me. If you are on your character sheet, go ahead and click that initiative bonus, and it should roll it for you immediately. And if you get the Marvel on your Marvel die, that means you get a surprise round. You get a fantastic round, which means you get an additional one in the first round of initiative.
How do I know if I got the Marvel die?
It'll be the red die out of the 3 that it rolls for you, and it'll have the Marvel M on it.
Oh.
Ark, where's the initiative button?
It should be in the top right corner of your character sheet on Demiplane.
I see. It's hiding right up there. Look at that. All right. Ooh. I got a 19.
All right, 19.
I have a 14.
David. 14 for polyphonic. And then what did you get, Nabu? 11?
Yes.
Okay. And nobody got a Marvel on their Marvel die?
I don't believe so.
Alrighty, so at the top of our initiative, we have David. David, you see all of these various incomplete scientific equations that are literally lining the walls of the space that you are in. There is a desire to start solving them because they're very obviously wrong. But your powers have changed. You have changed. You currently have access to a pretty damning amount of super strength, if you would say so yourself. What would you like to do in this moment?
I'm genuinely... I want to light a candle because I'm trying to channel David aiding with this. I need a spirit to fill me. What I would like to do is, if possible, David, I would love for him to, whether it is in the ceiling or whatever, we can have him do the kind of logic matrix scan of the best place to do it. He'd like to find a way, not even to damage the cell to immediately escape it, but to make himself audible to others and other cells. He wants to, if he can break the top off of something, he just wants to be able to have the other people hear his voice.
Okay. We'll say that is a free action of some kind, but this will require either a logic or a vigilance roll. And this will be using your combat rolls.
Combat rolls are different.
Yes, so if you're using logic, you get that ×4 multiplier. If you're using vigilance, it would just be that +4.
Okay, so I ended up using logic, and I got 17.
17? Okay. Mm-hmm. So with a 17, David isn't above everything, above literally everything. David is not dumb. He knows Xavier's technology. He knows what the X-Men use. He knows what their most common, systems and things that they use for everything that they create or that they're using within their own facilities. You can see there is an intercom system because that was how you were able to hear Gambit from outside of the space. Top right corner in the room, you can see it's like a triangular piece of metal that's pushed into that corner. If there's a speaker coming in, that means that speaker can be used to broadcast out. And all of those speakers are connected because everybody heard the same message before everybody's cells started doing their thing. So you absolutely, if you would like to, as an action, you can roll either logic or ego to manipulate that technology and send a message through all of the cells. But in doing so, you won't hear any other messages that the rest of the upperclassmen might hear.
And this is a combat check?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go with ego in an attempt to break these speakers and 19.
19. Let's go. Absolutely. You seeing the space, looking up, you're immediately like, this is how I'm gonna get, the information out. And you reach and grab that metal plate, and it just folds off in your hand. And you can see the small speaker that's set into the corner, a handful of wires, and you start pulling the ground, reconnecting to another line in the back so that it transmits instead of receives. What are you saying to everyone else?
I think David, seeing that he successfully re-rigged everything, takes a deep breath, and there's a fleeting kind of self-reflection about the muscle memory of this, about how kind of simple this was and how little activation it took for him to get to this point. And then what I'd like to do, Ark, is use a power. I'd like to use inspiration over the loudspeakers for everybody that is in theirs. And for the audience, inspiration is an ability the character inspires an ally in earshot. That ally gains an edge on all action checks until the start of my turn. And so edges are advantages. You get to re-roll a dice, right, Ark?
You re-roll the lowest dice out of whatever you rolled.
I think that David casts a look, and you can see other people having various reactions to their test. There's some people who seem to be rising to the moment, but there are a distressing amount of people who seem to be really, really not in mortal danger, but he wants to help everybody. So over the loud phone, David goes, "Stop! Everyone, focus in. All right, these tests are not random. Every detail in this room was specifically designed to throw you off your game. And it's up to you to decide if you are capable of handling that or not. But the worst thing that you can do in this instance is panic, think. And David, it is already, after the think, is going to start putting the...
Start pushing everything back into the corner of the cell. Alrighty. And then with that, we move on over to polyphonic. So even through that deafening cacophony of Baby Shark and Breakdance and Tim McGraw, you are able to find and hear David's voice over all of that.
Nice. Yeah, and polyphonic really like takes that to heart. And he kind of goes to that place in his mind where he composes music, where he like first starts to like ideate, right? And it's sort of like this quiet, sort of like center of the storm thing. And in that silence, he starts to pick out like different parts of the music that he's hearing. Um, and he finds sort of like a through line, which is like a set of brass instruments that go through a bunch of the music. And he really like pulls that in his mind, and he like pushes that into like his abilities. And we see the Valkyrie type wings that sprout from his earphones turn shimmering silver. as he pulls on the metal in the cell that surrounds him and attempts to like reform it and reshape it.
Hell yeah. Which ability are you just pulling at your power?
I'm trying to like pull at it to like take apart the cell, but if I were to use an ability, I think that might be elemental burst.
Okay. We will use elemental burst. So go ahead. I do believe that is agility, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Alrighty. Go ahead and click on that. Now, because you would have been at a disadvantage technically on this roll because of all of the music and all of the finer details of all of that, finding that. Thanks to David's inspiration, this will just be a flat roll for you.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Oh, I got a 15 with a Marvel die.
Ooh, okay. So, on a fantastic success, it takes double damage and would become blinded. But in this aspect, what we will say is finding that frequency, finding that tonality, finding that perfect sync in the music, and accessing this portion of the elemental pole that you have. You are able to rend all of the metal that is holding the glass around your space. So not only you've pulled it all in, the glass is still standing because it's held by the other outside structures, but all the inside glass structure has been removed. On your next turn, if you want to, you can separate one of the dividing walls between you and the other students, either to your left or to your right. And
Nice.
it might disable it. It might put you in a even worse scenario. Maybe the guy next to you is always on fire and now his cube is full of water, and this might suck for you for a moment. But there's an opportunity to not be alone in this testing sequence in this moment on your next turn. Is there anything else that you would like to do as like a free action kind of quick thing? Because you have pulled all of that metal. Are you going to do anything with it?
Can we say that the metal melts into several sword shapes
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
that sort of like float around
They
polyphonic?
they pulled off of the ceiling points of the two glass fixtures, and as they were bending and moving, they like folded over on themselves until they were several like metal blades that are just rotating around polyphonic at this moment.
Nice.
Alrighty. Nabu, you are in zero gravity.
DM, I got a couple questions.
I got a couple answers.
Is there like anything in my room, or is it just like clear glass and I can see like all of the other kids doing
It is
whatever they're doing?
just you. It is just clear glass, though very thick. And you can see the other students that are in all of the various other like holding spaces around you. Are you looking for anyone in particular?
No, nobody in particular. I'm just ascertaining surrounding. Did I start floating in the air? Because zero gravity just like happened around me.
It
Like,
started at a very minute level with your like initially just your body coming off of the floor, and then as Gambit finished his statement, that's when you couldn't find your center of gravity and were just completely floating in the center of this cube.
all right. So, and is it like silent outside of hearing my friend say being calm?
Yes.
Sorry. Oh man. Nabu, like at first being worried and like jostled, is like in whatever random orientation he is now in. It's just now relaxed. Like this is the first time all of the weight of the world is like off his shoulders, and he's gonna take it in for a moment before hatching a devious plan. Um, uh, I'm not. He says, I'm not sure if anybody can hear this, but this is the first time anybody has given me the opportunity to absolutely see where the extent of my power can go. And then he just slowly, it like in his like sternum, or is it his body, depending on how far down you go, but like the lowest point you can go, and just starts um amplifying his density like powers in his sternum as far as it can go. And then until it seems like it becomes unbearable, he starts like progressing it like through his body into his like exoskeleton, and like then into his weapons and so on and so forth. As much as he can, so like things can gravitate toward him if he's just like right there floating.
So you're going to increase the density on the bones in your body first to see if you can find a way to plant your feet on the ground.
No, hold everything into me, like become a as heavy as a star, essentially.
Oh,
Because
so you're starting here and then expanding the density to everything else.
Yeah,
So you're trying to reverse gravity well, the gravity well you're in right now.
yeah, like
Okay.
like because like there's the negative to his power is that he is in gravity. You took away his like negative to his power, so
Yep.
like
I'm
he
tracking.
like
I'm tracking. Give me. You'll have your choice between either resilience or logic. If you do logic, it will be a combat check. If you do resilience, it will be a non-combat check.
I'm gonna do resilience.
All right, go ahead and roll resilience for me. I'll tell you right now, you need to beat an 18.
I got a 14.
You got a 14? Okay.
But I'm gonna use that re-roll the lowest one, which is a 1, to
Well,
see where that gets me.
you would have been at disadvantage on the roll previously, just like Polyphonic was, because the room is specifically created to counter your abilities. With the inspiration, it made it a flat roll. But with a 14, what you are now able to deduce from this, you can feel where the beginning of this gravity well starts. The one that is keeping you in 0G, you are now physically aware of the location of it, and it is dead center in the floor of the cell that you are in. You are like an inch, maybe 2 inches away from having solid contact to leverage weight in to break it. But you're going to need more focus. You're going to need to shift that density even deeper at this point. But with
DM, when you mean deeper, do you mean like deeper in the sense of like heavier, or like lower on body?
both heavier and lower on body, because you're able to right yourself in the density shifting that you did do, and you're so close. It's like holding two magnets of opposing poles and trying to push them, how you get that wedge of energy that just won't let them connect, and you can feel in the center of those two magnets where that push is coming from. You are now aware of that push, and you just need to drive down. And that's because essentially you did fail this roll with a 14, needing to beat an 18. But as a free action, is there anything else you would like to do?
As a free action, and since I'm like upright, can I try to move by like I don't know, throwing my spear the opposite way or something, since I'm like 0 Gs.
Give me a logic roll real quick. Non-combat.
No.
What'd you get?
Well, I got a 9.
You got
I
a
got a
9?
9.
So even with all of the advanced schooling that you had received in Wakanda, you had never received advanced training as far as fighting in zero gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So the initial attempt to throw the spear to get some kind of momentum, as you let go, it stays here and your arm continues.
Okay.
So there you weren't able to get enough force and energy behind it for it to create any kind of acceleration. It has just stayed essentially motionless next to your head now.
All right.
And with that, we get to the students. You can see a handful of students around you, if you are looking around the space, are already immediately like gave up. They're not trying. This is more X-Men shit. I didn't come here to be an X-Men. I came here because things changed. I came here because I've changed. I'm not trying to prove myself again. And there's about 6 or 7 of the students that are responding in that way, either having pulled all the way back into the cell that they're in and have just accepted whatever the antithesis of their powers is, or have just like crossed arms. Some of them look like they are like gray stone super strength, and they're not punching, they're not stomping, they're not doing it, they're just standing in the center defiantly. There are still a handful of others who seem to be actively trying to dissolve or fight against whatever is stopping their abilities. And they're trying to do it without their powers. They're trying to do it with just their bare hands, ingenuity, thought process, looking over the area, trying to figure out what's causing it, and then interacting in some way. And even then another group. A handful of students that, David, you've never seen before, and Alex, you've never seen before either. But from their movement and the way that they are responding, they definitely have seen some training. They definitely have been prepared previously, similar to the rest of you. And they are actively trying to break through or separate or escape the pods that they're in. One of them is very close. One of them is very close. And the only reason why you know that is because the space that they were in initially was filled with absolutely blinding light that seemed to be contained within that space, and you're starting to see arms of shadows like wrap around whatever the bit of light in there that is producing this lumen is starting to be engulfed in. Like there's arms and tendrils that are wrapping around the bulb itself, and you can't so much hear the cracking, but you're pretty sure there's something breaking inside there that probably shouldn't be able to be broken at this moment. As we move to the top of our initiative, David.
I think that there is some bit of glass that is in the wall or as part of the cell, and I'm going to have David shatter that with his elbow, and he's going to use a piece of the shattered glass on the components he's about to start stripping. So having that familiarity with the Xavier Institute to a like comical degree, right? Like the back of your hand would be like so. There's like almost like a mundane nature to this. He's certainly, hustling. He's not like taking his time, but because again of this muscle memory, he is going to go about. I wanted him to strip and cut the wires. I wanted to try to open the door in the cell by like going in and reconfiguring something. One thing I do need to figure out is Arba, what is Nabu's strength?
His strength is how.
So you're melee.
Melee, sorry.
Oh, okay. It's 15.
15.
So
Okay.
5.
So
Yeah.
let me see. So this character picks one of the. Okay. So I am using his ability score instead of my own.
Yes.
And so my melee would go from 1 to 5 in this moment, which is making me reconsider my intellectualized approach to getting out of here.
And that's perfectly fine. If you want to abandon the components aspect of it, we'll call that a free action, burned and done.
Okay, what I'm going to say is that the reason this happens is like his fingers have increased in density that has made this task impossible. And so he's like really trying to get, and it is out of exhaustion and then kind of like the realization that the stars align for David. And I just want him to fucking falcon punch through the door. He just is going to give the door like a big old swing.
And it literally is the falcon punch. So go ahead and roll me a melee attack roll. And your multiplier would be times 5 instead of times 1.
Okay. Times 5 instead of times 1. And this is a... this is pretty combat.
Yep.
Yeah. How do I change my... I guess we just add it to the total?
The 5 multiplier, it only goes to whatever's on your Marvel die. So whatever's on your red die will multiply by 5.
Got it. Okay. Just rolled. So I got a 5 on the red die, a 4 and a 3.
So that is a 12, dealing 25 points of damage. Let me check this wall, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't have more than that. Because your cell was not made for someone with super strength. Your cell was not made for someone who copied super strength. Your cell was made for someone with a high level of ADHD and a need to correct mathematical equations.
Mm-hmm. They thought they could bait me. They thought they could clickbait me, but they failed. Suck it, Xavier.
Yeah, you absolutely... in abandoning the wiring harness of the door itself, and it's in the falcon punch of the door, you now realize another reason why this was so much harder is because these aren't, your normal like swing open, swing close, lift up, drop down. No, these doors are set on like roller motors to slide down into the ground. And you were pulling at the chain with the wire. So it was pinching the door at an angle. So it was like, all right, no, I'm done with this. Punch completely through the glass. It shatters outward. You see all of the equations that were on the inside of there immediately are no longer etched onto the glass at all. They're completely gone. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's the move here?
I think David is going to go to the nearest cell of one of the 6 or 7 that had like given up, and particularly the ones that look like they are in more distress. There are a few people who look like they've kind of succumbed to their fate and are going to just kind of wait this thing out. But to the people who are like being re-traumatized by Professor LeBeau for reasons, I think David would make the calculus that like there's got to be at least afford me this arc, just a brief reflection on this style of like initiation in terms of like the way that David thinks organizationally about the X-Men. Just thinks that their onboarding process might have some room for improvement, even to its corporate.
there's definitely going to be a finely and well-worded email sent out about this in regards to trauma and the lack thereof counseling to doing something like this unannounced, even to upperclassmen. That it would definitely be a. This isn't just a pin for later. This is going to happen.
That's a
Essentially,
no, you don't. Bad.
yeah. So one of the students that you do find that seems to be like you said, that traumatic response to everything is one of the students that had attended the school with you and was also there on decimation, and that is Onyx. Onyx has this gold clay-like stone on his arms, around his body. He's got this metal head, like helmet, that he wears over that has 4 slits for eyes, 2 for a nose hole, and the lower jaw just kind of wraps around the bottom of the metal plate. And he is like frantically locking his arms to the sides of the wall and forcing himself to the back of it. Like he is just, no. The last time I fought against containment, or I fought against the antithesis, the opposing force, I lost friends. I lost people. I lost teachers. Like there, you can see this, and you know this because you're seeing your own telltale signs of yourself reflected back to you of the, I'm going to push myself as far away from this as possible because I can't deal with this right now. And Onyx is not a small person by any measure, even compared to Colossus or the Juggernaut. He is all right along the lines of that same physicality and size and presence. But even he is pulled all the way back.
Hey, seeing himself, seeing this raw emotion reflected in this person and containment and distress is like it is tinfoil on a filling. It is this visceral pain that is touching a stove that you didn't realize was that hot. And I think it is not even his conscious self. I think it's his reptile brain that screams a scream that is about so much more than just the current horror du jour, right? Like this is the, like, the life threatening or distressing event of the day. And I think the exhaustion of everything really compounds, and he screams this loud, like his voice is raw and ragged, his throat is red after this, and I want him to rip the front of the door of the containment that Onyx is in off of the hinges. So he punched through it before. I want him to, like, and if he needs to, David it up, I think looking specifically and strategically at where the weak points are instead of just, he's yeah, I think he's gonna
I would say
try.
I would say there isn't enough David in this moment to look for weak points in seeing that reflection. You can attempt one more melee against the door using the super strength. And then how much longer do you have access to Nabu's power?
Let me take a look. Check it on day.
Because I think it's like a concentration.
Yeah, duration concentration.
Okay. Roll for that concentration for me right now. It'll be resilience.
It is this combat or not combat? I guess it's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 14.
Okay. So you are able to maintain your concentration on the power itself to keep it within your realm. So go ahead and make that melee attack against the door to try and break it down.
Okay, and this is the one where we just had 5 to the total?
Yeah, we multiply the
Oh,
red die
yeah.
by 5.
Okay, so I got a 3 on the red die, a 6, and then a 3.
So 12 total does succeed, and then 15 points of damage is the damage threshold of the door. So you are able to, it's not going to break and shatter, but you are able to hit it with just enough pressure that you could literally wave Onyx forward and it will crumble with him walking forward. Or you could push and it will shatter and fall away. So it's not completely obliterated, but it is spider-webbed to the nth degree.
I think at like a measured tone approaching the believe it or not, it's like, you know, he would allow for that moment of like recognition. And there's a lot of nonverbal, like, okay. Help me get the rest. If you need a minute, feel free to sit down then.
He seems to just be like silently nodding.
Okay.
Like the autopilot has been engaged, essentially.
Just take care of yourself. Keep an eye on yourself. And David is going to turn and begin looking for like the next door as he feels the. Well, I guess I got to roll for concentration to see if I can keep the bones ring.
We'll roll that at the top of your turn. Polyphonic.
Yeah, I think that polyphonic is.
You got the loose doors on the left and right.
Yeah, polyphonic is sort of like lost in the sauce at this point. I think that he's like going with these like these brass tracks and like adding some like bass and like other tracks to sort of like complement it. And I think in the process, he's going to try and destroy the glass wall in front of him with an elemental blast.
Let's go. Go ahead and roll that attack for me.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 10 focus. Since it's like a sliding scale that ups my agility apparently to like 10 plus 10.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna do that. Oh, I got. Oh, do I need to enter damage reduction? No, right?
No, you don't need to enter damage reduction.
Okay. Oh, 24.
24 to hit it?
Yes.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. The doors defense score is 10. You're all above power level for it. The rooms are meant to inoculate or suspend, essentially. They're not meant to like really like hold you or contain you, essentially. But yeah, you shattered that front door off entirely. Like 3 or 4 of the blades go rushing forward, and they just serrade a hole out of the center before the rest of it shatters. And now there's just this crystalline circle being held in place by these rotating blades by pressure of them just holding it. And at the front door disappearing, those 2 side doors are now getting real wiggly because you took the framework out from them. Would you like to do anything about that, or are you just stepping out of the space?
Well, can I look at my neighbors to see if they are if they want to do anything?
Oh, absolutely.
They're actively being traumatized.
I don't want to force anyone to fight if they don't want to.
You look to your left and you see a woman, appears to be about 16, 17, very short, crop cut blonde hair with like the pixie up, but none of the pixie back. There is like an overlayer of shadow to her body that gives her almost like the manga or like manga art form where they have the broad dark lines around the body. Also from the school, her name is Elsewhere. She has the ability to teleport, but they can only be to places she can actively see. And as that wall that was separating the two of you, as it starts giving, you can see on her side of it, that whole wall is completely opaque. There's no translucent lines through that at all. So it looks like she's just popping from one corner of the room around the other, just peeking, trying to find the thinnest line of translucent glass to move through. And then to your right, you see a younger man, somewhere about 14, 15 years old. Brown hair, very wavy, just kind of like has the side part and it's all laying to the opposite, undercut underneath. With gold light that seems to be coming out of his eyes, and he is focusing it on the door itself, and you see the door becomes wood for a second and then goes back to being glass. It becomes almost crystalline, a separate crystalline structure, and then shifts back to the plexiglass, and then becomes like rubber for a second and then shifts back. You may have run into him, not 100%, might have been right before you left the school, but they also did attend the New York Institute. Their name is Collider, and he has transmutation powers. So he is able to change or modify atomic structure, but only on things that he can visually observe. So it seems that the glass on his side, every time he tries to change its form, it's reforming itself back into place each time. But those are the people to your left and to your right that you're at least aware of. Both of them seem to be like trying to figure a way out or trying to push forward, but to zero avail currently.
Sorry, what was the woman's name again?
Elsewhere. Her name is Jamie Vanderwall, but her code name was Elsewhere.
In that case, I think that Alex is going to drop the circle of glass like safely, so it doesn't like hit anyone. And then he's going to float outside of his cell and use two of the swords like crowbars to kind of like pull at the side pieces of his cell.
Those are already free. You essentially just have to push them one way or the other, and they will fall.
Okay, yeah, I want them to fall into my now empty cell.
Okay.
So that, and I say, let's blow this popsicle stand.
We will call that your free action because they're literally, you ripped all of the trimming and sealant of the walls on your side, so they'll very easily fall into your cell. And as you do so, let's blow this popsicle stand. Elsewhere is immediately next to you and goes, "Are hugs okay?"
Yeah, let's hug it
just
out.
immediately like hugs you, and you see James Collider step out, and he looks down at his clothes and he pulls at it, that same gold light, and all of his clothes seem to get like a metal sheen over the front of them.
Whoa,
like some kind
so
of metallic
cool.
response. And he goes, "I am beyond tired. It was a 16-hour flight to get here. I did not want to be doing... Yes, let's blow this popsicle stand." And turns as the three of you now see David has freed Onyx from the cell that he was in.
I want to do like a long range wave. David, you good?
David is gonna like jog over as it looks from person to person. He's like assessing body language to see if anybody is like limping or if they seem to be, favoring or babying anything. One of the things I think he is like hyper aware of is that there again are people who did not come here to be X-Men, and originally he didn't come here to be an X-Men, right? That wasn't part of the plan. And so I think there's a part of him that really empathizes with those who are not trying to, um, who didn't come here to join like a team or to fall down trap doors and be like actively traumatized by a hot Cajun. So it's like in their name and those folks. Um,
Jamie, you do
Yeah.
recognize, worked alongside Beast the whole time you were at the school.
Okay.
Was Beast's TA. Professor McCoy's TA was elsewhere, was Jamie. James did not have the power that he had just executed in front of you the last time you guys interacted with each other.
And James is Collider.
James is called Collider. James's original name was Unibeam. All he was capable of doing was producing bright light from his eyeballs. He was a flashlight. He was a walking flashlight. He wasn't on any of the, like superheroic squads. He wasn't a part of any of the house sorting incidents with Emma Frost when she took over. He was very much like the B class to everyone else. But seems now his power has shifted in a way like yours has.
That's impressive.
It's new. And he like motions to the clothes.
That's good.
Nabu, you are floating
Right.
2 inches over the floor with your spear floating right next to the side of your head.
Nabu seemed like, outside of my friends and all these other new students getting out like immediately, like he's a little like man, I can't let them show me up, and then like grabs his spear. You said like I'm like can I have a DM? Can I have an exact
You're literally
distance?
it is right underneath your feet where you are floating on the floor. Where you're floating above the floor. It's literally right underneath that metal panel.
Because my spear is like in reach weapon. It has +1. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I do believe that would mean that it can easily just touch that point.
Oh yeah.
I would shift my like density to that point and try to like turn it off.
Go
Also, I've been reading my character sheet here. I have escape as a reaction. The character can attempt to escape just like they could with a regular action. Can I use my reaction for this particular moment?
You could. That's why it's important. Community members, people watching later on, read your character sheet. I set my man up for a quick escape. It just took him a second to find it on his sheet.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You use your reaction for escape?
Yes.
All right, describe to me how you escape.
Like simply standing from like folded arm to one hand, like grabbing spear, and like the spear tip is a hand, and since I can like manipulate the bones, the hand goes from like pointed, like sharpened kind of like spear into like a pointed finger that just touches the ground and tries to turn off this thing.
It just goes into one of these, and you just jam it into the floor, putting all of the density and weight into that point, so it sinks like a hot knife in butter. And you hear some kind of electricity, some kind of energy just immediately give out inside of your cell. You land on your feet very simply, very easily, because you were only about an inch off the floor. But also, for anyone else experiencing a density shift, like a gravity well no longer being in place, this would be painful. For you, this is waking up in the morning and putting on all of your clothes as the doors and walls around you immediately spiderweb Like, they immediately have
Yeah.
shatter lines all the way around them.
I want to, DM. I want to change a little thing. Like Nabu believes other people can see him, and he wants to be cool too. And he's like a little bit younger than everybody, so he kind of like hero drops
Just
an
a
inch.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And, like, yeah, but like he didn't plan for the things to spiderweb like that, so he's just like, that's pretty cool. So, but as for my action, I want to take this opportunity to do what I think I can easily do. The door in front of me, is there like a clear path to Gambit? Could I like see him, or was it just like an intercom type of deal?
Beforehand, you could see him, but you were made aware, everyone was made aware that there is a secondary ring of this glass between the cells and where he is. So you could literally walk through the spider-webbed glass, go to that ring, and attack that glass to break it immediately.
Cool. Well, yeah, but I want to try to like juggernaut that like type of deal where
Absolutely.
I just run straight forward in that. Yeah. So tell me what I have to roll, what I gotta do.
You're going to roll that melee attack for me. Or no, you're
Been a party of
juggernauting
bruisers,
it. Make it agility.
Oh, I have Ram.
Roll ram.
Where is it?
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Oh, it's still a melee. Oh, what? Wait, how's this -2? I don't think I'm doing this right. Well, I guess I did do it right. I got a 9.
Got a 9. The superhero drop might have gotten everyone's attention for Nabu to be like, yes, they think I'm cool now. Bouncing off of the glass that you were running face first towards definitely didn't help.
They can't see that. They can't see that. They can't see that, you see, because, like, it's all spider-webbed.
David and Polyphonic and the rest of you, you absolutely did see this because he's no longer in the spider-webbed cell. He's out amongst the rest of you.
So I went through this.
Oh,
I went through the cell all extra cool too then.
Yeah,
so
you juggernauted out of the cell because it was already spider-webbed glass, and then you continued your momentum into that second wall, the second ring, and then just bounced off of that.
Polyphonic was cheering on Nabu as he broke through the first wall of glass, and then when he bounced off the second, Polyphonic was like, ooh.
I think David is going to run point for a Polyphonic and just think strategically. And he's like, everybody, hey, gather up, heads up. And he's going to like distract people and hopefully, he wants Nabu to be able to like the cool guy walk it off, or at least take some of the heat off. So he's like, hey, all right, heads up, team, let's gather, let's everybody huddle up.
As you know, you need 10 students out for that secondary wall to drop to face Gambit. Or you can try and break the wall and face Gambit with just the 6 of you that are currently free.
DM, I don't think I rolled my dice. I think I was looking at my previous logic roll.
Give me that new roll.
I think I'm just gonna, since it's the melee modifier.
Yeah, just click the melee attack.
Oh, a 13. That's way better.
13, and what did you get on your Marvel die?
A 3.
A 3, so that would have been another 15 points of damage.
Yeah, under all of it, it says. No, I'm just going to go with the result. The result says 13.
Yeah, so the damage comes out to 15. You did still see Nabu's head bounce off of the wall, but that upon bouncing off of the wall, there is a giant crack that is running through it. It is not broken. It is not broken through, but there is damage done to the secondary wall now. And so again, there are 6 of you free. We have
Can I?
David. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I? This is earnest, but it's also strategic, and I'm gonna assume this isn't the first time that David does this. So he's like running over to Jamie, is it? Who's like elsewhere?
Yes.
Yeah, he's like running over to Jamie again, and then there's like that moment of recognition. I think this is one of those things where because they all essentially survived this tragedy together, that even somebody you had a passing acquaintance with, right? Like that relationship is so much more significant in the weight and in the light of things. And so he runs and gives a hug to, and he pulls her back. He's gonna look, and then he is gonna hover his hand over her arm. He's like non-verbally asked, "Do you mind? Can I borrow something from you for a little bit?"
Yeah. Here.
Okay.
And she starts, like, puts her fingers to her head and starts thinking a lot.
Mm. He's like, um, I'm gonna take. It realizes that like her thinking about it seems to accelerate the process. He thought that this may have been a touch thing, but it may be
It's a
more
carryover.
neurological.
It's a carryover from her awareness of your original power.
Mm.
She's trying to
Interesting.
think of all of the most intricate things she can to give you as much information as possible because you are the only person who knows about the change to your powers.
Right. This would be news to her. Um, we're gonna rewind back to the earnest hug. He's gonna pull Jamie back a little bit. I am so sorry. I hate to impose. Obviously, any gestures to the chaos. Do you mind if could I like borrow just a little bit of your power? It doesn't take anything from you. It's like a kind of mutant Xerox type of deal.
I mean, yeah, but when did you do that? And she just like puts a hand flatly out towards you.
Mm-hmm. You're just gonna like grab her by the wrist. This is still new. There is no like rule book for this. The this I think infuriates David because it's like an unknown quantity. It's an unknown. He can't think his way out of this. He doesn't understand how this works, and nothing he's done is proved. But it works every time. So he's going to take and borrow Ginny's power this time, not the ability.
Okay.
Which I think means I do have to spend 5 focus.
Yes. And this is baseline teleportation. So this is you could
Yes.
teleport between any 2 points that you can see.
Got it. This is the part, Arvon. I need you to like help the school me. We need to make this infotainment at some point where it's like the leveraging and getting the most out of the action and reaction economy. Because if possible, I do hold on. I think is a teleport is let's see. I think it's a standard action or is it movement?
Teleport is a movement.
Okay. So help me understand how that would play in terms of what I did. So I did one action, which was the borrowing of the power.
Similar to D&D, similar to most combat centric or skill centric tabletop role playing games. You have free action, movement action, standard action, and reaction. So you still have movement, which is completely available to you. And this is between any 2 points. So your normal move speed information that's in the top corner is negated because it's just essentially where you can see you can teleport to.
I think seeing one of the remaining students in distress, having had to endure all of this as all of these things are happening, he is going to teleport into an arc. You let me know. Whichever is the closest, the first one he's able to make eye contact with, instinctually, he's going to like blink into there, and he's going to try to attempt to start blinking people out of the cells.
Absolutely. Funnily enough, is another, not a student that attended yours, the school that you guys went to, but definitely looks to be someone who's had some kind of training of some kind. As you teleport inside of their cell, you can see there are these like almost like stickers or like QR tags of some kind that are like placed all over the room and walls that are just like, it looks like a graffiti sticker slap fest inside here. And the person you're seeing is like bouncing from each spot that these things are at. He's like teleporting between all of those points, all of them, and it's in rapid succession. Intellectually, you believe, looking at this, he's trying to build up enough air pressure in the room that the doors and walls give by teleporting between all of these spaces, because he's doing them in very specific locations, soft spots, corners, dead center, and just rebounding between all of these spaces. And as you teleport inside, he looks at you and he goes, "You got a way out?"
David, seeing a teleporter zipping around this room, his stomach sinks. Oh boy. Let's find out. He is going to grab this guy by the wrist, look outside of the door, and see if he can blink out.
As you do so, the two of you teleport out. And he goes,
Okay.
"Oh, so that's way better than mine. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, and I was running out too." And he's like reaching into pockets, like think late 90s lay failed X-Men, like collection of pockets around the waist, a bandolier, everything, of these small stickers that now looking at, they look like the save icon from video games, like the floppy disk on each one of them. He goes, are we doing real names, or we do just call me Checkpoint? Where are we going?
Nice to meet you. We are going with the group. David is scanning the horizon. I think he's going to look for Keith, and I think like there is a part of Danny got it covered for like Nabu earlier when they, I'm assuming he's like walked it off and is. So I think David's going to turn to like bring this person who's with me on over to wherever I see the rest of the group assembled.
Looks around. Checkpoint. This guy got me out. He can teleport. It looks like you're really fucking strong. And points at Onyx. And you got really cool swords and stuff. This is great. We could fight him right now if we want to. But I mean, we can wait. There's 1, 2, and starts counting. He's like, "There's 7 of us out here now. We could wait till we get 3 more, or we can rush and you hear shattering from across the room. As the room that was filled with light, and you started seeing those tendrils of darkness wrap over and break. You see, I want you to very deeply in your mindscape, all of my wonderful cast members and those in the audience, I want you to think the epitome of emo scene boy from the like early 2000s, 2010s. We're talking the dark swoop hair, little blue and pink highlights underneath it, leather choker, band t-shirt on that's got unnecessary graphic with like 900 color splashes on it, but it's still deeply black leather pants that have like patches on them, a pair of Demonia boots that have like 4 inches of sole on the bottom of them. He's got all the black little wristbands going up his arm. There's definitely an I Heart Boobies one there somewhere. October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, everyone. But it's definitely there somewhere. You just can't see it underneath all of the black ribbons that are tied to his wrist. As he steps out, David, Alex, that's Spectre. He did not look like that the last time you guys saw him. He very much looked like your preppy Catholic school, blonde hair, little spikes up, somewhere around 5'5", 5'6", very like swimmer build. Definitely did not look like this previously, but you can tell by those bright yellow eyes and that attempt to not be smiling at using his powers.
Holy shit.
Hey, Spectre. Looking good.
Oh, hey guys. How's it going?
Good job, man. High five, high five.
High five.
Yeah, I have a question, Ark. I feel like this is good for because it'll help ground me, but I think this would be good for what is our present like relationship or understanding to the change in powers in some and the return and others and the seeming kind of like chaos to it in this point in the timeline. What is our present kind of like working understanding of how this happened?
There are currently two accepted answers to this. One of which you read in a message that was treated like a journal, that there was this new drug that appeared called Synth X that people were taking after M Day and the decimation that seemed to give people their powers back, and in some cases amplify or mutate them even more. The second is being called the recoding. There is something going on within the electromagnetic sphere around the planet that those who had mutant abilities and lost them during M Day are being recoded through the electromagnetic field to regain their abilities. And in that recoding is unlocking unseen potential or untapped potential of the powers previously. The beginnings of that change to the electromagnetic field are still unknown. But those are the two running accepted answers for why this is happening. There are people who have said, God has given me my powers back. There are people who have said, they weren't taken away, they were just turned off. Like, there's a lot of theories and explanations and things that have gone around over the time frame, but the two accepted answers at this point is Synth X and the recoding.
I'm weighing like the like emotional and like existential kind of weight of that. I think the idea of seeing Spectre now is an affirmation of just how much things and everyone has changed, and he doesn't know what he feels about that. I don't know if that's nostalgia or melancholy or some combination of like the both, but seeing Spectre like this, all powerful, he's gonna just, and this is internal, but I've just described to Spectre. He's gonna say, "You look different, or you seem different."
It's self-actualization through introspection.
Whoa. That's so cool. Can you teach me some of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been reading a lot of Kafka recently to really, really find myself.
Gesundheit.
Okay.
And
It's like okay, sure. Curiosity sated on.
Sort of in contrast to David, I think Alex is like, oh, it's my friend.
yeah.
My friend is here. That's
Oh,
so cool.
he's not dressing like his parents want him to. He's getting to be himself. He's getting to
Whoa.
really show himself and express. Yes.
That's growth.
Speaking of polyphonic, it is your turn currently.
Yeah, I want to look for DJ, aka Mark Shepard, and I want to if he looks like he wants to get out, I want to help free him.
As you come across DJ, he is buckled over. He seems to not be able to find any resonance inside this cell at all.
Yeah, I want to get him out of there just to get him out of that situation.
Okay. Are you attacking? Are you trying to figure out a pin pad technological answer? Are you cutting a hole through the door? What's the
Yeah,
vibe?
I think I'm just gonna use another elemental blast with my metal swords, and I think I'm just gonna like rake them across the glass front of his cell
Okay.
to sort of like cut him open.
Alrighty, give me that
I'm gonna
attack roll.
use, yeah, I'm gonna spend 6 focus points on this.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, 20 with 20 damage.
Yeah, 100%. The blades start. It's almost like those new potato cutters that everybody's buying off the TikTok shop, where you just put the potato on there, just push down, it cuts it perfectly into fries. Is essentially that with these blades, except they line up along the door in diagonal lines and just flay the glass entirely, and each piece just falls off, and you hear
Nice.
all the sound in there cacophonous. It's not even
Oh,
like layers of music like they attempted with you. It is the death waltz at 200 speed with random horns, a kazoo, and a child screaming. Like, it is just
oh God.
unnecessary discordance. As once all the pieces fall away, it goes silent in there.
Oh, nice. DJ, are you okay?
I just need, just give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
He's keeping like he's not as doubled over in pain, but he is still like both knees on the ground, hands are at the ground, and is just like head down, just deep breathing. You can see like the whole back is flexing up for deep breaths and descending.
I want to take off my jacket and just put it on his shoulders and sort of just like rub his back.
Just gotta refocus the inner ear, find my fun little music space, and then we're should be good.
I'll stick here with you until you're okay.
See if anybody else. I'm good. It's quiet in here now, so that's definitely helpful. If anybody else
Okay.
needs help, help them out.
Okay.
And free action movement. Anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, I think I'll just move outside to sort of like give him space.
Alrighty. And then with that, we get to Nabu. Nabu, you got 8 other warriors ready for battle outside of their cells. They
Mhm.
succeeded in their trials of escaping their containment. They said you need 10, but who needs 10?
But we are missing a friend. Um, DM, am I right next to everybody? Did I hear all of the conversation, or am I like
Yeah,
somewhere else?
they all had moved over towards you after you had escaped and cracked
Okay,
the secondary wall.
cool. We gotta start looking for um our blue companion, the one that armed you. He points at the wall. Voodoo, or that's no ordinary glass wall. I would have got through it.
I'm
Yeah, and
sorry.
he
I'm sorry.
starts looking for. Starts looking for. I think his name was Eric.
You're looking for Evan?
Evan. There we go.
You're looking for KP?
Hmm.
You do see him.
All right.
He looks to be one of the people who were just standing arms folded in the center of their cells, like just not interacting, not doing anything, and is just
Mhm.
standing there. And it's as you approach and you get to the outside of his cell is when he moves his arms from in front of him, places both hands behind his back, and just nods to you.
I nod to him. I I just easily. I mean, like you tell me if it's easily. I want to use the free action again to reaction to escape and just open the door. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
I'll say you can do that.
yeah, yeah. I just casually just like kind of fold the door. Um, just
Just
like
force the door back under the ground where that opening
yeah.
is.
hmm And I point behind me. Would you care to help fight the X-Men?
I was hoping we'd get a chance to do that upstairs. Apparently, we get to do it here. And he just like nods a head forward and just starts stepping out of the space.
hmm Um, yeah. Cool. Now, from where I'm aimed, I'm not sure what I can do.
Well, I can help you
Um,
out in that aspect because as Kid Apocalypse Genesis steps out of his cell with you on the outside, and the other 8 of you out there, that secondary wall begins to descend into the ground. Oh, I've been waiting a while for this. Let's see what you 10 have already for me.
no, 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 no! Leave it up! I wanted to break your wall. I look around. I'm sorry.
You still have your action. You still have, we'll say you still have your movement. So you can run up to Gambit and take a swing on him if you want to. It is entirely up to you.
No, is this like world renowned Gambit, or is this like X-Men still don't have the
This
like
is
people know of?
world-renowned Gambit. This is
Oh
Remy
no.
LeBeau, the leader of
Mm,
the Thieves Guild in the Bayou, the one who ran the Executioners, the one who kidnapped the Morlocks, the one who was previously a villain to the X-Men, recently engaged and no longer engaged to Rogue. It's a very well known.
oh, if I can get up to him, I start like, no, we're just big fans. We're not here to fight. And I like say a bunch of nonsense to try to go up and shake his hand to try to see if he will allow me to grab it.
Give me an ego roll.
I'm like,
You need to beat a 15.
a 9. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, that's ego. That's a 9.
As you extend your hand forward and saying, "Oh no, we're all just big fans. We don't want to fight you. It's an honor to meet you." You see Gambit step down towards you and go, "Oh, it's a pleasure, young one, but don't count me for a fool." And he taps the center of your palm.
Mhm.
I need you. Oh no, I have to roll this. 1 second.
Save number at all costs.
Mhm.
What is your melee defense score?
How would I know what that would be?
Is right
Oh,
next.
yeah, that's a 15.
So a 16 hits.
Mhm.
I got a Marvel on my Marvel die. Times 5. Plus 5. Times 2 for getting a fantastic on that roll. You take 70 points of damage.
What the names?
What is your health at currently?
110. Does it blow my hand off?
It doesn't blow your hand off, but it does send your arm up, even with all of the density that you had put into it to rend that door down. That shouldn't have been possible. That shouldn't have been a thing. But when he tapped the center of your hand, he placed a massive amount of kinetic energy in the palm of it and sent your arm flying back. So taking 70 damage, that will put you at 40 hit points.
I had 180.
You had 180? Oh, okay, so you're at 110. Never mind. I thought your max was 110 and you took 70. Got it. So now with 10 students out and about, we get into fighting the Raging Cajun himself, Gambit. And back at the top of initiative for everyone is David.
David, is going to take a look at the crowds, right, to think about this. Earlier, I was able to use inspiration to help all of the students through the loudspeaker. And so because I had a microphone and one that would go straight to them, I was able to, but traditionally I can only do that to one person. I can only say it to one person. And so the evolution of inspiration is Battle Plan, which is an ability I haven't used, processing focus. But it is, this character inspires one or more allies of their choice in earshot up to the character's vigilance. And inspired allies gain edge on all action checks until my next turn. So my vigilance is 4. And I'm going to turn to, and the 4 that I'd like to select are Alex, Nabu.
You have Elsewhere, Collider, Spectre, Onyx, Checkpoint, and Kid Apocalypse.
I'm going to go to Collider. And I'm doing this in a way that to where it's natural, to where it doesn't feel like I'm choosing a dodgeball team, but I'm bringing in a select group of people because we don't have a lot of time. And for the fourth person I'd like to bring in Onyx. And there isn't really like an exchange between David and Onyx, but he brings the group on over as they huddle up. All right. As they are all talking, he's doing his best to like seem like he's having a casual conversation and etc. I think our number one tactic here is to throw Mr. LeBeau off of this game. He's one of his biggest weaknesses is his ego and his inability to think about the unpredictable, and he thinks about that. And as he says, the unpredictable, he's gonna raise an eyebrow towards Collider and Arc DM. Can I message you an idea I have, and you let me know if this is something
Absolutely.
that could happen?
Absolutely. Send it to me in Discord.
Okay, I'm sending it right now. This is what I would whisper to Collider. Thank you for being with me, audience.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Collider just kind of like nods.
Got it. Nabu, Keith, you guys have both been doing great. I don't know how experienced you are all with this, but from
Keith?
just watching your... Oh, sorry. Keith, I just got you on the brain, man. You just brought so much life to Alex that life just supersedes art. It's the biggest compliment. So, all right. Alex, Nabu, you both seem competent. You seem like you know your way around a battlefield. Here, this is a fight about being unpredictable, right? Our best bet is to not play by the numbers. Mr. LeBeau has taken out class after class of chumps, people who do precisely what the strategies and what we've been taught. So I need you to forget what you've been taught for the moment. This is when I think unpredictability is your best bet. And so I'm going to use that battle plan to give inspiration to Onyx. Onyx is just like a soulful, like,
Yep.
fuck him up. just
Again,
fuck him up real
Onyx
bad.
has been without words since stepping out, but you can see the like nod of I'm gonna get him.
Yeah, we feel the like heat radiating off of Onyx. I'm gonna like give a nod to Collider and then turn to the other two. All right, who's hungry for Cajun?
Checkpoint, while everybody's
Um,
gathered, just starts putting stickers on everybody.
can I say something in this moment?
Absolutely.
Um, as I'm holding my hand, I just want to say like um, this is the Gambit, all right. Um, nobody try to like punch him in the face. Yeah. No, nobody try to punch him. He could redirect energy.
That seems like a good idea. Spectre says.
Yeah, that was really scary to watch. Are you okay?
Me, yeah. Like Nabu's just like more or less surprised. That was like the best high five. Yes, for him. He dapped him up really well.
Elsewhere
Can I?
looks to David and goes, "Do you need more? Do you need?
I think I have
Should I
to
bounce
roll.
people?"
I think for this,
Well, you haven't used another an action that's outside of your powers. You used your own powers for the battle plan. It's if you were using the teleport again that you would have to roll for that concentration.
got it. I think the best bet here is everybody, like a bunch of like Left 4 Dead zombies filing in a line, throwing themselves at the raging caveman seems like a recipe for disaster. I think having known and studied the X-Men in a lot of the historic battles, just like a boring amount. David's a fucking nerd, right? Like he's a bigger nerd than even I. And I think he knows that like their best bet is to catch Gambit off guard, is to like play through his ego and not to it. So I want to teleport. If I can, I would like to leave some of the group on one side and like to take Alex and Nabu with me to the other side.
Okay, so you're going to the opposite side of the like plinth area that Gambit was standing on, and the other
He's
group
in the
over there.
center.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create a triangle. So if they're like a disparate group, I would like put us to a point to where we would make a triangle.
Okay.
So I'm going to grab the arms of both of the homies and take us to that triangle.
Got it. After the teleport, give me that roll for concentration. And then polyphonic, it is on you.
And then for concentration, I roll
Resilience.
Resilience. Okay, here we go. And this is combat-y, right? Yeah, it's pretty combat-y.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's see what we got. I got a 14.
You are able to hold it.
Okay.
You are able to hold it. It is when you start falling under 10.
Got it.
Polyphonic, it is now on you.
I want to cut off Gambit's movements by sending my metal swords to sort of like fly down and pin him in place. I'm trying to do an elemental grab, but it's more of a like just keep him in place, basically.
Gotcha. Go for it. Cool? Go for it. He is wearing his signature trench coat. There is a chance.
All right. So I roll ego. That is a 16. Does that? How does edge work with that?
Just beat it. Nice. His ego defense is 15.
Yes. So I'm just gonna read the text on this to tell you. So I make the ego attack versus melee defense. To break out, he has to do make a successful melee check against target number 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that, like that. So you move through the air and start sending the blades down, and they're grabbing at like the sleeve of one of the jacket. Some of them are just pinning the trench coat down. One of them even goes between his legs to pin it even further back, so it's like catching against his shoulders while leaning forward. He is going to use a reaction to escape. As that final one connects and digs through, he just pulls his arms out of it. You do see his bow staff is still stuck attached to the inside of the jacket as it falls to the ground.
Nice.
Could I use my reaction crushing grip to grab him?
You aren't within melee currently, because you got teleported to make a triangular flank against him.
Oh, okay.
But he does escape from that. But you did disarm him of one of his signature weapons that he will not get access to, since that is stuck to the ground, and you've got blades that you can command right next to it. He's not dumb. Well, he's not that dumb. We'll say that. Is there anything else you would like to do? Free action, movement, anything else?
I think I want to float a little bit away from our trio so that we don't have like an AoE situation that can catch us all.
You go up and back, and you're like almost, if you settled, you would be perching on top of one of the escaped cubes, essentially.
Oh, nice.
So you have enough distance between you guys for if there was an AoE attack, you're safe. Up next, Nabu. You're muted, my friend.
Also, to all my homies who have just joined, we are fighting Gambit because he's
Yes.
HR loves Gambit's orientation program, trap doors and trauma and all. So,
DM, where is Mr. LeBeau in reference to Naguna?
Nabu, in reference to Nabu, he's roughly about 15, 20 feet away.
Forward, behind him, left or right?
Forward at like a 35-degree angle to your left.
My healing factor, does it work in like for every round?
Yes, every round.
So I would get 6 healing.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that at the top. And I will look around, and it seems like the plan is to try to pin him down, but like I'm trying to think of the best way of doing it. I don't want to just run up and like tackle him, because then he will just explode himself, and like
If he explodes himself, he'll die.
Well, yeah, but you understand where I'm getting. Like, could I want to get to him fast and use try to grab him again, but like I don't want it to be like attack fast. I just wanted to be movement fast, like just place hand on
You
shoulder.
can absolutely do that.
but we got the edge too.
Yep.
All right, and edge means I roll with advantage.
Yes, essentially. So whatever is your lowest die, you'll re-roll that.
Ooh, an 18. If I re-roll the lowest die, do I take the new number?
You take the highest number.
Okay, I'm gonna try to re-roll the 3. How would I do that on the game? Do I just click the 3?
You should be able to just click the 3.
3 lowers.
If not, just roll the same attack again, and then swap the dice, like the correlating dice.
Oh, okay. All right, so I got one more. It's a 19.
19. 19 absolutely does hit. So
All right,
you're grappling him.
yeah, uh, yeah. I just run but I want to like grab a limb. Like I don't want to like hug him. I want to like run up and grab his wrist.
Okay, yeah. You run up, you grab his wrist. I'm assuming that you're going to shift the density down into your feet, so you're like anchoring him there. So you're not
Hmm.
punching him, giving him more kinetic energy, or like squeezing really tight to give him like PSI to
Yeah,
manipulate, but you're just anchoring him in that spot.
yeah, yeah, and
Absolutely. You get up there, you grab hold, lock him in that position, and as you do so, he looks over at you and is like, "My boy, we did this already. You think something else is going to change about this?"
the last time I was being nice.
Yes.
Hmm.
After Nabu, we have Elsewhere. Elsewhere just teleports to be right behind Nabu and has a hand at his back. And she is holding an action, if need be, to teleport herself and Nabu out of an attack. So if Gambit attempts to attack Nabu or hurt him, she can teleport both of them out of the way. Collider is going to hold his action for what David had mentioned to him and is preparing an action to respond. Now we get to Spectre. Spectre is going to engage his secondary form. For those of you who went to school with him in character, this is nothing new. You guys have seen it before. For people who haven't read the comic books or don't know who this character is, you see, almost like Peter Pan, his own shadow stand up behind him and then fold over his body. And it creates this like secondary layer over him. His bright yellow eyes are now glowing topaz through it with like not Spider-Man, but like the slot, like the sideways comes up to a point view of the eyes. No mouth over the area, and his musculature becomes bigger. So he becomes one size category larger. His melee and agility increase by 2, and he gets access to his elemental bursts, which are just dark energy, essentially. And he is going to move to be side by side with Onyx. So wherever or whatever Onyx goes to do, he is going to mirror that as if he is Onyx's shadow in this moment. After that, we got Checkpoint, and Checkpoint is just vibing in the back, like just waiting for somebody to do something so he could teleport over and give his own little 2 bits to the whole thing.
Why do I think like fighting game idol animation?
It is.
Like the whole time. It's just like the rock.
He's sitting in the back just like, yeah, let's do this. He takes a sticker out, looks at it, looks at the camera, gives a thumbs up, puts it back, and then goes back to bobbing around for a second. Kid Apocalypse does nothing. He just stands with his hands still behind his back, observing. We then get to Remy LeBeau, who doesn't like being surrounded, who isn't really a big fan of all of this, and wants to make sure that he's got a way to maneuver. So he is going to do the Dealer's Shuffle, which is a character move in the book called Dance of Death. He will spin about, shooting every enemy around them. He will spend 10 focus in order to do so.
Can I yell now?
Absolutely. So, yeah, let me grab dice real quick. So I'm going to roll specifically for that reaction.
I want this. You know that very satisfying thing where you see him like shuffle the cards from one hand to the other? I want it to be that moment where you're supposed to get that like tactile, satisfying.
Fantastic success for Collider on his held action.
Let's fucking go!
As the
Yes!
cards move out from one of the deck pouches and you see them fling around Remy LeBeau's body before he brings a hand down for them to slide across his forearm and be sent out to everyone. They instantly become small piles of ash as each card exits his hand. As soon as it gets past his fingertips and they're fully charged, they just disintegrate into piles of ash on the ground. Everyone was saved from taking 20 points of damage currently as the dealer's dance was negated by Collider. And you just see, again, these bright lumen eyes directed right at Gambit's hand where the cards were coming out of. Oh, so we have tricks. We're working as a team. This is what Gambit likes. Young man, please let me go, as he is going to escape again. He slides his hand completely out of your wrist.
Okay, now I will use the crushing grip.
Alrighty, go ahead and read off what crushing grip does.
The character seizes an enemy and squeezes hard.
And squeezes hard.
That's what it says.
Absolutely. So it's essentially re-engaging the grapple all over again.
Yeah.
You got it. That is standard action. That is reaction. Free action, with the other hand, he's just going to unclip one of the other decks on his chest and start flicking cards forward to get ready to toss them.
Do I have to roll for that?
No, you just re-engage the grapple after they have successfully escaped.
Okay. DM, can you describe what the escape was? Did he throw his hand out of my grip and jump away?
Oh, he tried to pop his thumb in like he would to escape, and he handcuffs or bindings to pull his hand free of you holding at the wrist. Because you weren't engaging the pressure here, you were anchoring through your feet. So he's like, I can definitely pull out of this child's hand. And then you shifted the density back into your hand and just kept it there so he couldn't pull past. So we have a fun time here. Great time here. Well then, my boy, you can come with me. As for his movement, he will teleport. Nabu, would you like Elsewhere to stop the teleport by teleporting you back to the same position?
Yeah, I think I'll like that. That would be funny.
He doesn't know that Elsewhere is right behind you, ready to teleport, and he is trying to teleport. Now all three of you are connected. So in a moment, for the rest of you, you see Gambit get ready to, dissipate. His whole body looks like it's going to fold through the fabric of space and time with Nabu. And you see Elsewhere, peek her head over Nabu's shoulder and goes, when can you do that? And then teleport them right back in the same spot so that they can't leave.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With that, we get right back to the top of initiative. David.
Oh, I have an idea. There are no telepaths at this school.
0. None.
But I think I know 3 blonde ace cards I'd like to play in this. Come with me on a walk, Ark. I have an idea for something I want to do. I would love in this moment to leverage and weaponize the catty pettiness of these separate cuckoos, who undoubtedly have tea and dirt about Remy LeBeau, who's not short
Oh yeah.
on scandal, right, or blackmail material. I want them. He agrees to whatever their visit or like whatever the stipulations are. They have like a relatively transactional relationship, and so he like the haggling. He's like fast forwarding in his brain. Like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever, okay, great. Like I need can you, and he's going to like cast a glance. And what I'm trying to think what action that would like qualify. I'm just thinking.
So if you
It's
were
just
going
like
to
a
do
thought.
this, it would be an ego. It would be an ego-based attack. Is essentially what you were attempting to do, because it is not only you channeling telepaths through your own mind, but you're willing to go that far in this moment. You're willing to pluck a feather out of the peacock's back in front of the mate.
This is my I feel like the cuckoos would have the tea already. To me, I think that this is more. I don't know that we necessarily need to even engage. I also don't want to subject them to that, right? The inside of Rennie's brain. So I'm thinking that they know enough, and you let me. And oh, gosh, you know what?
They will
Also,
give you something that can put Gambit on the back foot.
okay.
They won't go into his mind using your mind, but they will give you something that you can use to put him on the back foot.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to get some tea from them because I am realizing in this moment that, like, yeah, this is about Gambit, but it's also very much not in a way. This is about the way that these academies choose to introduce new students to not even just the school, but to the concept of being an X-Men. It's this like barbaric trial by fire. And I think that like he has seen firsthand what happens when these schools um, he knows how dangerous they are. The threat isn't theoretical. None of this is hypothetical. Like people could die, and it doesn't take like intent to do that. So I think he's pissed. This there's like a very young rage to this, and it is about throwing all of this emotion about Noriko, about um, folks from back home, and he is in this moment like uncharacteristically emotional. I think this is a point when like logic has the utility of logic I think has been met, and so there is a intentionality in getting the cuckoos for the dirt because he doesn't want to just like demoralize him like
Yeah.
temporarily. This is a hurt person trying to hurt somebody else.
Oh yeah. So give me that ego roll real quick.
Got it. Here we go. Okay. So I got a 14.
Okay. His resilience defense score is a 12. What you are told by the cuckoos, which also they tell you in part of the whole discussion of transaction, and they go, I'll remind you about what you agreed to later, that there is no psychic shielding in this school either. There's no telepathic shielding in this school currently. Rogue is currently on Asteroid M, tending to Magneto and taking care of him. Oh, they kissed. You feel in your mind one of the cuckoos go, oh, they kissed.
This is so fucking diabolical. Oh, this is deliciously like nasty. This is a very real, visceral teenage rage that logic has no place here, right? You are an authority figure in a sea of ones that have exclusively failed to keep myself and my classmates safe. And so I think it is with, it's not even a saunter. This isn't like a power play. This isn't about a power dynamic. This is, again, about a very hurt person wanting to devastate somebody else. And so as he sees Gambit struggling with the others around him, he's going to do a wave, as it's some pleasantries, right? Like, David's not a barbarian.
Oh, you don't need to raise your hand, young man. You can just speak your mind.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Lobo. I've had a lot on my mind recently, and I know that I have it bad, right? I guess we all do to some extent, but some of us have it worse than others, and I just wanted to publicly say I'm sorry. I know you must have felt pretty humiliated when Rogue left. I know that this is a difficult time for all of us, and maybe that's why you're engaging in this asinine behavior after some of these children have already been traumatized by watching their classmates die. Why you elected to greet them with trap doors and not open arms is something for you to unpack on your own time, but I wanted to say I'm sorry. I know, like, the idea of Magneto, and I mean, it's nobody should have to live through that, and so publicly too. That must really suck. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry, Mr. LeBeau, and I hope that things improve for you. I mean, you really, truly, Remy, only have up to go.
Now, just to confirm, you
walked. Talk no Jitsu.
You walked all the way up to him to say this.
I'm going to say that David is not like in his face. He's got, I would say, there's probably like a healthy, maybe like 10 to 15 feet between them, but he walked in front of it, certainly enough to catch his eye line. And what I think he began doing was walking clockwise around as he forcing Remy to like listen and turn. And he can see in the faces of classmates that, like, this is new information to a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
in this room,
100%. Yeah, he is without response as the Remy LeBeau's a very proud man. He'll keep himself composed in any situation that he may find himself in, but this one may have found him somewhere he wasn't prepared to be. The shoulders have, dropped. The cards that he had prepped and pulled across his chest, 3 of them fall onto the floor in front of him. Win is a win. Turns away from you. Send a different proctor down. I have time for this. You see Nightcrawler right next to Gambit. Where you want to go? Anywhere but here. As Nightcrawler waves to Nabu. Can you? You did well.
Nabu's a little frustrated. He feels disrespected as a warrior. This whole, but he does he does let him go. Like like we are not battling. This was a test, but like I'm actively holding your hand and we're fighting, and you think I say this out loud. Like before I let him go, like I tug on it. Like we're fighting. Like I'm actively holding your hand, and your mind is elsewhere. And
Boy, you fought
you are the
well, but there is an opportunity at any turn that I could have removed your entire arm from existing on this plane. I was here to teach. I was not here to be disrespected.
I let him go.
And as you do, you see Nightcrawler. Thank you, Flint. And he puts a hand on Gambit's shoulder, and they. As the 10 of you then see shimmering silver and blue light around you, teleport you out of this space. And it's in you being pulled from the space. You see Colossus is now standing in the center of the room, untransformed in his old Red Guard uniform with the red bandana tied over the top of his head. The next 10, and just stands there waiting. As the 10 of you find yourselves now in the entry decks to the lower levels of Havencrest Academy. You see Director Howlett, you see Director Hudson standing outside and says, "That's one way to stop a fight, kid, but digging at a man like that ain't exactly respectful. It was just a test, David."
I'm not gonna wait for Discord or anybody to have me reconcile the amount of blood that is on your hands. And David, there is again an insolent, petulant, juvenile. This is an intellectual tantrum, right? It's the idea of like weaponizing his strategic mind to think of like the biggest cut to the jugular possible. And I think internally, David carries a lot of hurt and empathy for Gambit in particular, and feels a deep amount of guilt. It's like that thing where he's upset with somebody, you're younger, and you like punch somebody, and then you do, and it's you feel terrible thereafter. But he's not gonna fucking like any of these people. You know that? So he, out loud, I think I'm gonna retroactively say he's just gonna scoff at that. Yeah, just a test. Yeah, it's all just a test. He's walking away from them, hopefully to find the other two.
As you're walking away, Professor Howlett, or Director Howlett, goes, "You changed. Your powers are different. Your feelings are different. Your mind is different. That's what this place is about. A new chance, a new life. And you, like everyone else who came from New York, knows what comes with a new life. We gotta make sure you can be safe outside of these walls, whether you want to be human or not. It's not just about math and science and music and the arts. Just like you, every other student here needs to know that they can protect themselves, or they can escape, or they can try.
he doesn't say anything, but protect. The mention of protecting ourselves. David thinks this. You can't protect anybody, right? I think internally there is a. It's almost like when you get like a kind of a sharp pain in your back. It's like the psychological equivalent of that, and it is a sensory thing, and it's the smell of the gasoline and of burnt hair. And for a moment, uh, I think this would be a very slight kind of adjustment, but David goes a little bit slack. The light behind his eyes is just a little dimmer, I think, in this moment. This is someone who's desperately fighting like nihilism, right? Um, and
Yeah. The moment Nabu is seeing David's eyes like sink, he looks over at um, the DM. Who are we talking to again?
Director Hallett, Wolverine.
Yeah, he looks over to the Wolverine, and says, "My companion's done nothing wrong. You take every and all advantages on a battlefield. He should have kept his problems at the door."
honestly, I am not going to be lectured by Remy LeBeau about ethics, frankly. He says,
Yeah, like we all know who the who the who the Gambit is. Like he is a shining example.
No, but just
He would
like
have done
you
the
came
same
here
to
for a
us.
second chance. So did he. We can discuss this at your next counseling session. The rest of you, great job. You found your way out. You helped others. You looked out for each other. And found means to success. Whether it was escaping, fighting, demoralizing, and looks at David, or by other means. You've done well. All upperclassmen will report to counseling. Thank you. And Director Hudson, Heather comes over to the rest of the group and is like, "All right, let's get everybody upstairs. You guys did great. I mean, you're the third group to finish in under 10 minutes."
But we've only seen ourselves come out of our rooms first.
Yeah, because everybody else is already. The other two teams are already upstairs starting their counseling and their class guidance tree for the rest of the school year. Yes, so they'll be upstairs.
As we're walking up, I tap David on the shoulder and say, "You did nothing wrong." And then just keep going to where they want us to go.
I think he did nothing wrong. David he in this moment there's no satisfaction, right? Like you imagine it's like a thing where there's somebody that you really, really dislike and you think about like telling them off or just venting all of that energy at someone, and then the release that is supposed to come after, and there is no relief. He feels arguably worse than he did prior to the beginning, and David has never been the problem child. I think that is he just is having trouble recognizing himself. So at this point, he is going to turn to Nabu and Alex and say, "You guys did great. I appreciate we all I think worked together. I normally don't. It's not my normal tactic, but I've been through a lot. I don't think. I think they would have to. They would know. They would have to like. Even if David had not directly laid out, I think his reactions to things, and it's better that you would assume that he'd been like acting the other.
There are countless other former classmates who are a part. You have Onyx is right there, Spectre is right there, Elsewhere is right there. They were all at the same school. They were all there when everything happened. So they're all like very knowingly like, you're good.
Yeah, and I think Alex offers, yeah, uh, a few of us understand like what you're going through. If you want to get any of that off your chest, if counseling isn't really doing it, my door's open, and my yeah.
Checkpoint goes, you should have been kicking it with us in the Brotherhood before this, man. Holy shit, that would have been fucking great. That if just saying a sentence to Gambit shuts him up and gets him to run off, fuck yeah, that would have been awesome.
There's something of like this kindness feels like shit right now, and he accepts it, and it is like he feels the sincerity of it, but he feels profoundly undeserving of it in this moment. David is like, he threw a tantrum metaphorically and screamed so long he gave himself a headache. He's going through like the version of that right now, and I think he, above all, as the like cortisol of the moment and the like adrenaline has stopped pumping, is just embarrassed because I think he behaved in a way that he would have never expected, but that didn't feel unnatural or like inorganic or forced. Um, he's not a dumb person. There are a lot of ways that I think he could have taken out Gambit, but I think that this is, and again, an example of a hurt person just wanting to displace that, wanted to, and having the teacher be a lightning rod. I think for that is, so he appreciates, and he's gonna put a hand. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's nice for us to kind of have like a group of friends who are familiar here, and especially with you two, I feel like I get a fresh start. You don't have the other David, the previous operating system, to have to worry about. That this radiance.
As we get a panel of the 9 of you going up the stairs from the lower deck, I need my 3 players to mute their microphones and to suspend themselves as viewers and not as players in this game. No, keep your headset on. Keep listening. As 9 students go up the stairs and we see Director Hudson, Director Howlett discussing how intense some of the counseling is going to get and how maybe it wasn't a good idea to not have telepaths here to know exactly what some students might need and ways to help them. Logan reassures that having somebody dance around your mind to find the trauma to step on isn't a good thing. It needs to be willfully wanted. The help has to be wanted in order for it to succeed. You can't force somebody to be better. They have to choose to be better. And while this conversation is happening, we see the edge of Polyphonic's jacket dangling over the shoulders of DJ, listening in to that conversation. As the skin flickers to blue, eyes yellow, with a deep cut slitted pupil before forming back. A phone is picked up, placed to the ear. If you're looking for David, he's in Alaska. And then it's hung up. And as it's hung up, we see call ended, 0 minutes, 8 seconds, trauma kit. And that is where we will end issue number 2 of Universe 939. Thank you to my amazing and wonderful players. Thank you to the amazing viewers who have joined us tonight. Thank you, Roll D5, for the raid. I know I didn't get a chance to react to it, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you to all the beacons who are in chat. We will go around, have everyone tell you who they are, where you can find them next. And again, episode 1 will be uploaded tonight, so it'll be available for you to watch. The VOD will be available here on the channel for the next week, and then after that, episode 2 will be uploaded for everyone as well. So we'll start with the trauma themselves, Aetherius.
Yeah, no, I'm so like I want to apologize to everyone for making their like antidepressants work a little bit harder. I know mine did, so I feel like I owe the audience like an apology on that. But yes, I'm Aetherius Bordeaux, chronic sad boy here in this story. Vampire Himbo on most platforms, except for here on Twitch, where I'm Vampire_Himbo. I just have to say I'm having, such a brilliant time in this exploring this human of a story in the Marvel universe in a way that I will be honest is not always like a strong point of some modern Marvel or favorite. And it's so good. This type of story, I think for right now, I think X-Men is meeting the moment, and I'm just proud to be a part of the cast. And yeah, love all y'all.
Hell yeah. Novra.
Hello, everybody. I am having a great time. I'm kind of glad that the fight stopped where it ended because I think I was going to wreck Gambit's life. I was reading, this little chart thing, and I have this thing called towing where character grabs or pins a target at the end of a rope. I was just going to use like my whip and like jump up into the air and chokeslam this guy. See how much like he can do or take before he like explodes or something. But I guess like if he wants to be upset that his girlfriend broke up with him, I guess. Whatever, man.
That was devastating. Oh my god, I felt like so bad, but I had to do what I felt like the character would do in that moment. And I feel like that when you're younger and you have those feelings, you don't always direct them to the appropriate person, right? Like anybody who survived your teenage years, and like, oh, that felt terrible. But I was like, this is.
That's Talk Jitsu live, guys. Live and working well. But yeah, I'm happy to be here as well, and I'm looking forward to coming back.
Hell yeah. And last but certainly not least, my new favorite double agent interactor for this point in time, Keith.
Hi, you guys. You can find me on Blue Sky at Keith Asada and on itch.io under the same username. I loved playing Alex, your friendly neighborhood manic pixie dream boy, tonight. And I imagine if if Nabu was feeling, a bit like there's a bit of more fight in him, I think that Alex would also say, "Hey, do you want to see if we could, get into one of these training rooms before we have to go to the, first round of counseling?"
Yeah, for sure. Like I was thinking that like the moment Colossus came in, I was like, oh yeah, he punches hard. Like, can I be the next 10? Because this is lame.
Yeah,
Can I
right?
do the
Yeah, same
test
thing.
again?
Can you put me back in some kind of other room? A
Oh,
harder
the
one this time.
cuckoos.
And
So good.
I have been your
Weaponizing the
director.
cuckoos.
I've been your director, Arc or Arc Like Court. Find me all over the internet at Arc Like Court. Check out my games, buy my books if you enjoy TTRPGs, and we will see you all in 2 weeks for issue number 3 of Universe 939. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.